Donald Trump is not happy. He is not happy with the 4 Capitol police officers who testified this week and basically blamed him for the Capitol riot. So according to reports that came out late this past week, Donald Trump lashed out at these officers, and those that were around him said that he referred to them as pussies. Because obviously, if you've seen the testimony, if you've watched any of the clips, the officers talked about how frightened they were. We got to see the body cam footage of how psychotic these Trump supporters were. They told stories. The African-American officer told the story of how he was hit with all these racial slurs. And Trump's response to that is to call them a bunch of pussies. Here's what's happening. Donald Trump is doing what so many other Republicans are doing as well. We've seen it with Laura Ingraham on Fox News. We've seen it from other Fox News hosts. We have seen it from other Republicans in Congress. They are trying to paint these police officers as the incompetent ones. Ingraham literally telling people that, oh, well, the insurrection happened because the cops weren't prepared for it. If they'd done their jobs, this wouldn't have happened. All trying to deflect the blame away from Donald Trump, and that's what Trump is lashing out about. He also, according to the reports, said that these individuals who testified that day were pawns of Pelosi. Pelosi handpicked these individuals to go there and give the most damning testimony possible. Whether that's true or not, honestly, at this point, is irrelevant. Those were officers that were there that day. They were on the front lines. They experienced this firsthand, and they told their stories. What, do you want them to call the cop that was taking selfies with the insurrectionists? Do you remember that story? Oh, I'm sure Trump does, because that's probably the guy that's going to go out there and say, no, they were loving us. They were hugging and kissing like Trump says. But no, the police officers are not to blame for the January 6th insurrection. Nancy Pelosi is not to blame for the January 6th insurrection. And by the way, yes, that is another talking point that conservatives are throwing out, trying to blame Pelosi for it for all kinds of reasons, saying she didn't activate the National Guard, even though she doesn't have the authority to do that, saying that the Democrats normalized chaos and anarchy by supporting the Black Lives Matter protests of the summer of 2020, which, for the record, most of them really didn't go out there and express any kind of support for that. They should have, but they didn't. And here we are today. These are desperate pleas, desperate cries from a desperate party. They know that that testimony that came out this week was devastating for Republicans, devastating for Donald Trump himself. So they're all lashing out. They're all trying to blame the cops. And they're going to continue doing that, of course, until we get the next round of testimony from the next round of people. Then there's going to be new attacks. Whoever it's going to be that testifies next, they're going to be attacked by Trump, by conservative media, by Republican politicians. They're going to be attacked. And that's part of the plan for Republicans. Go out there on the offensive right now and attack the people testifying, so maybe you can intimidate more people into not testifying. That's the bigger part of this plan. They're not only trying to shift and deflect the blame, they're trying to intimidate anyone else who might be thinking about testifying. That is what this is really about.